I'm turning back. Every breath burning, but I never step back. Damage on open, flames licking the sky. Hear their war cry. I answer with knees in the mud, but my spirit stands tall. If this is the day, then I give it my all. Against all odds I rise, broken, but I still stand. Feet in the dust, eyes to the stars, sword shaking in my hand. You think this heart will fall? Watch how it defies. Cut through the dark, come out the dawn. Against all odds I shadows surround me, circling cool and sure. Every cut deeper, but my will learns to endure. Names of the fallen echo under my skin. I fight for the memory. I will not give in. failure swept from the room. He laces his anger to the soles of his shoes. Every mile he murdered comes calling in view. Heartbeat, hammering the cage, trembling, hungry, wide awake. He whispers to the fear by name. You will not stay. Fierce like thunder, at the ridge. Eyes like wounds on the broken bridge. He carves through the dark with a single arc. Shadows fall silent, fearing the spark. Villages hide when the red moon climbs. Children still sing of his older crimes. Monster will save you, the drunkard say. He shoulders the curse and walks anyway. He is the blade of the wandering sun. Hanging alone, burning alone, where the brave won't come. Storm in his shadow, dawn in his hand, cutting a path through a dying land. When night screams out and the dark blood runs, they whisper his name, the wandering sun. Oh, son his tongue, scars like a map. Every cut, way back. Steel against sorrow, flesh against fear. Take what is hollow, leave honor He is the blade of the wandering sun. Burning alone, where the brave won't come. Storm in his shadow, dawn in his hand, cutting a path through a dying land. When night bows down and the last walls once, they'll carve in the wandering sun. trace runes of war. Over ruins left to sleep. I was born for open air. let them raise their rusted blades. I have burned their flags, I have melted their monuments. Only ashes know my reign.
circle of my stride. Who dare speak with defeat behind their eyes?
I see doubt like a tremor in your hand. I see fate already kneeling where you stand. mountain pass, avalanche of stone above their heads. He carves ladders into ice, bare hands bleeding red across the land.
Circle in the timberline, golden eyes that glitter in the gloom.
the day quits the
On this hill I
I roar your fate, I am and the best in every way you name. Strongest heart, sharpest steel, unchained. Let the earth remember, let the stones proclaim. deep in tempered steel, eyes that dawn through winter smoke, banner burning wide and wide. Every step a thunder spoke, every heartbeat battle cry. He hears the graves of fallen kings, calling his forgotten name. Their rusted crowns, their shattered rings, on the fence posts, watching every smoke black joke. Cages nailed to a leaning barn, fur and feather, chain and scar. He walks in like a quiet falling star. Eyes like a storm held back, voice low, carved from stone.
He counts each bruise, each broken wing, commits each scream to his soul.
Who hurt you? He asks the trembling hound, then turns to the grinning hands that stayed this haunted ground. Here's the wrath of the wanderer, shield of the voiceless earth.
He bears the wounds
Of the beaten beast and repays them painful hurt. For every cry in the cold dark night, he carves a mark in skin. Mercy for the helpless hearts and fire for those who sin. Moonlight on a rusted ring, tether choking a swollen throat. He snaps the iron like a whisper, wraps the foal in his ragged coat. Hunters laugh in the clearing, boots crushing a fallen stag. He steps from the bird's black shadow, and the laughter starts to drag. They spit their threats like arrows. He answers with broken steel, tendon and timber shatter as they finally learn to feel. Every lash they ever laid across a shaking frame returns through knuckle, rib and Mist on the dawn, mountains cut the bleeding sky. Ancient ruins in the stone, fading as the flames rise. I hear the old tone, carved in every giant wall. Like a winged ones, thunder answers the call. name scratched off the scabbard, owed more than he was paid. Storm dried on his armor, sweat baked in the seams. Riding past the hanging trees, chased hard by his own dreams. Errant to the Ember throne, riding where the wild winds mowed. Every wound a whispered oath, every mile he burns the road. Errant to the Ember throne, no herald, crown or gilded scroll, just a scarred and stubborn soul. Errant to the Ember throne. Errant to the Ember throne. Bridge of bones and iron, river black with ore, bandits laughing by the fire, chilling met his sword, old crone in a hollow oak, traces lines with coal, palace built of borrowed crowns, hungers for your soul. Errant to the Ember throne, riding where the wild winds mowed, every wound a whispered oath, every mile he burns the road. Errant to the Ember throne, no herald, crown or gilded scroll, just a scarred and stubborn soul. Errant to the Ember throne. Errant to the Ember He fought the thieves of winter, he bled in summer's dust, he drank from shattered goblets of rust and broken trust. If that distant gate is glory, if those gleaming halls are lies, he will carve his own new story in the marble of our pride. Errant to the Ember throne, riding where the wild winds mowed, every wound a whispered oath, every mile If I fall, remember this. You are more than flesh and bone. You're the oath our fathers swore. You're the marrow of this stone. When the sky erupts in flame, when you taste the cup of fear, shout my name into the storm. Know my spirit marches here. like a distant dying sea. But in this narrow corridor, there is only him and destiny. Close enough to taste the fear behind that jeweled grin. Steel draws a final line, no redemption. Only raise your blades, the thrones will fall. table, scars on our hands, signals and lanterns, storm over sand, whispers in marketplace, steel under cloaks, hope in the children, flint in our jokes. He brands every border upon our skin, turns every prayer into a sin. But where the crack in his perfect stone, the fault line under his throne. Raise your blades, the thrones will fall. Here are Streets you scarred now crack and turn. Palace glasses, coffin splinter. Every portrait starts to burn. You build towers out of suffering, stacked our bodies into thrones. Now the weight of every secret breaks the marrow in your bones. All the captains, scarred and silent, every scar a map of pain. Spread the shields across the courtyard, oil and pitch and twisted chain. Hear the old ones start their chanting, war prayers wrapped in smoke and dust. Lift my sword and feel it answer, burning bright with ancient trust. Right for the king, for the crown, for the flame, to the black countries we carve our names. Steel in our hands, their shadow will bleed. I speak the word and the world will heed. Right for the king, for the crown, for the flame, to the black countries we carve our black countries we carve our names. Steel in our hands, our shadow will bleed. I speak the word and